freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Tyler Civic Theater for offering this opportunity to play rights. They gave me 5 minutes to do this, so I'm going to jump right in. This play started when my wife and I visited the Whitney Plantation in Louisiana. We chose that plantation to visit because it is more of a memorial to slavery than it is a celebration of that time period. I bought a book there called My People Don't Want Me to Talk About Slavery, and it was from the slave narratives. I read it and was shocked in a lot of ways, but I felt like these were stories that needed to be told. You'll hear about 40% of the play today. The stories that you will hear are a combination of many stories that came directly from the slave narrative. Through this process, I also had a discovery. My 5 times great-grandfather was a slave owner. And that man raped one of his slaves and produced a offspring. And so through this, I've been connected with my African-American family who now lives in Chicago. And my cousin, Irving Ward Sr., has written a book called Pass the Baton, or Don't Drop the Baton, in reference to continuing to tell the stories of our heritage. And so before we start the reading, I'm going to read you a quote from that, and then I'll shut up and get out of the way of these lovely people that are going to present this show to you. It says, "We should ourselves not only be ever cognizant of our slave past, but also never let the world forget it. Elementary children must be taught the truth about slavery. Our secondary textbooks must teach and give slavery the coverage it gives other major historical events. Colleges must expound on slavery in their history classes as to the nature of the greatest calamity in the history of the world. When our fair-skinned brothers and sisters know and understand, when our own black brothers and sisters are taught and brought to understand what their ancestors were subjected to for centuries in this, our great land of the free, it could be the one way that our society will possibly reach that point where all colors can live together in peace and harmony, and more importantly, in understanding of one another." Amen. And that's from my cousin in Chicago, and yes, you can applaud. They're supposed to introduce themselves now?
Yes, they introduce themselves and their characters.
All right, so we'll start over here, and I'll get out of the way.
I'm Cameron Davis, playing chorus member and foreman.
Tania Jones, I'll be a chorus member, Mamie Grace, and both young and old Josephine.
My name is Azure McCluskey. I will be playing the chorus member and Mabel.
My name is Novelly Welch. I will be playing a chorus member.
My name is Amanda Nail, and I'll be playing a chorus member and Catherine.
I'm Lakia Strogan. I'll be playing a chorus member and young Delilah.
I'm Brandon Carlin. I'll be playing a chorus member.
My name is Michelle Johnson. I will be playing Moses and Josephine's pappy.
My name is Clayton Nail, and I'll be playing Frank.
My name is Jalen Crump, and I'll be a chorus member and old and young Polly.
My name is Allison McGee. I'll be providing narration.
My name is Blake Winningham. I'll be playing a chorus member and Master Jesse.
My name is Sean Holliday. I'll be playing Mr. Thompson, chorus member.
My name is Shirley Witherspoon. I will be playing a chorus member, Delilah, and Josephine's mama.
My name is Jack Ragland, and I'll be playing Whitfield and chorus.
My name is Brian Mouse. I'll be playing a chorus member and the young master.
And while we are still passing out ballots, I forgot to do Michael's bio. Michael Ward is the director of the Kilgore College Title III Record Recording Studio, where he writes, produces, and edits films and lectures for the college. He is also a part-time professor of theater arts at UT Tyler. Michael has been playwriting for 20 years and has published works with Players Press, Inc. He has won several playwriting contests, including the Off-Broadway Playwriting Contest, the Southern Appalachians Repertory Theater Playwriting Contest, and 3-time winner of the TETA Play Fest. This is his second appearance at Tyler Civic Theater's new play festival. His first appearance was The Bloodline. Michael lives in Tyler, Texas with his wife Melanie and their 3 fur babies, Desdemona, Tatum, and Oliver James. He enjoys fishing, traveling, and volunteering for the community when not working or writing. Okay, readers, when you have 5 minutes left, I'm going to hold up 5, 4, 3 minutes, 2, and then when you're out of time, I'm going to give you a fist, and whoever is speaking, finish your sentence or paragraph, and we'll be done. I'll let you know when I'm ready to go. And
the streets of America. Chorus is dressed in modern-day clothing and take the stage, moving to various locations.
Slavery.
A word that brings up a range of emotion in people.
From apathy to anger and everything in between.
But what do we really know about it?
From 1525 to 1866, over 12.5 million African souls were forced onto boats to attempt the infamous Middle Passage to the New World.
Over 2 million of those would die before they would ever reach the shores.
Over the next nearly 350 years, millions more would join those that perished through starvation, beatings, and outright murder.
So that word we like to say about other countries but never our own?
Genocide. January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation
The
Proclamation.
Emancipation Proclamation ordered that all slaves were to be freed.
However, it did not free the slaves in the South.
In fact, a vast majority of the slaves held in the U.S. did not experience freedom until 2 years later when the war came to an end.
At that point, nearly 4 million souls were free. But were they really free?
Free. To work for the same man that still called them nigger, only now was forced to pay them a few cents for their sweat and blood.
Free. To be considered 3/5 of a person when I am a man as good as anyone else.
Free. To clean the white folks' houses as long as they didn't use the toilet and lived on the colored side of town.
Free.
To ride in the back of the bus.
Free. To not use the same water fountains, bathrooms, or go to the same school.
Free. Where's my damn 40 acres and a mule?
Yeah, man, that was never actually a real thing.
What?
70 years later, during the Great Depression, President Roosevelt passed it as a part of his New Deal.
The Federal Writers Project, which included the slave narrative collection.
Nearly all slaves were illiterate because their owners would not allow them to learn to read or write.
Because as we know from centuries of history, those with the knowledge have the power.
This gave a chance for thousands of surviving former slaves to share their personal stories of slavery.
As well as providing work to many white people suffering conditions they had never felt before the Great Depression.
At Rise, an office. It should be merely representational and to the side of the stage. A desk with a chair behind and one beside. A typewriter sits on the desk. Mr. Thompson enters with Catherine behind.
This is where you will work. I apologize for the conditions. The Federal Writers Project has money for wages, but not much else, especially in this division.
It's perfectly fine. Happy to be here.
Good. The way it works is every morning the former slaves sign in out front, and then Mabel will give them a number. When you finished one, let Mabel know, and she'll send in another.
Sounds simple enough?
It's not. Most of these people can't read, and to be honest with you, I could barely understand half of what they say. Just do your best.
Yes, sir.
And write what you hear. Don't try to correct their grammar or spelling. Write it like it sounds coming out of their mouths.
All right.
Had to let a girl go last week because she couldn't get the gist of it.
Sorry to hear that.
Don't be. This was her desk.
I see.
Go ahead and get settled in. Do a test run on the typewriter. Last girl kept complaining that the E sticks if you hit it a certain way, so figure that out. I'll let Mabel know to send someone to you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Thank you for this opportunity.
No problem, sweetheart. Oh, and one more thing. Remember, when you're talking to them, don't get too vested in their stories.
What do you mean?
I mean, these people lie. Don't let the stories get to you. My granddaddy owned slaves, and he said they were the happiest people he knew. They cried and boo-hooed the day he told them they were free. Just don't believe everything you hear.
Yes, sir. I'm sure I won't believe everything I hear today.
Good girl. I'll be in my office if you need me.
Yes, sir.
Enter Mabel. She is young, pretty, and a force.
Oh, hiya. You the new girl?
Yes, I'm Catherine.
I'm Mabel. I work the phones and set up the interviews. The ladies' room is down that hall, and if you need a break, let me know. And you get 30 minutes for lunch. There's a card that comes around, but trust me, stay away from the tuna salad if you don't want to see it twice. If you know what I mean.
Thanks for the info.
Catherine. Cat, that's just too long. I'm going to call you Katie. You can call me May if you want. You got everything you need, Katie?
I believe so.
All right. We got them lining up like we are giving stuff away today. So I'm going to send in the first one in just a minute.
Oh, wait, May, about Mr. Thompson.
Oh, honey, don't worry about him. He's a pushover. You have any problems with him, you let me know. I got him by the short hairs, if you know what I mean.
I really don't know what you mean.
Stick around for a while and you'll figure it out. Give me a holler if you need anything. The phone doesn't work, like most of the people around here.
Catherine circles the desk, looking at it. She's uncomfortable. She has never had a desk before. She tries to settle into her space. She sits and loads a piece of paper in the typewriter. She begins to type and it immediately becomes jammed. She works to free it, getting ink on her hands. She's looking for something to wipe the ink off when Wiley enters. He takes out a handkerchief.
You can use this one if you want to, miss.
Taking the handkerchief and wiping the ink away.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr.
Wiley, but you can call me Uncle Y. Everybody that knows me calls me Uncle Y.
Well, all right, Uncle Y. Please sit down.
I can take a look at that contraption if you want me to. Used to fix things.
You don't have to do that.
Be my pleasure, ma'am.
Takes out a pocket knife and begins to fiddle with the typewriter.
What brings you in today?
Oh, just heard you was taking down his stories. Just thought I'd come by and share. Give that a word.
She types, and this time it works perfectly.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Toward nothing, man. Told you I used to fix things.
Well, I appreciate it. Please, take a seat. Now, about that story, your story. You were a slave?
Yes, ma'am. I was born a slave. Both ma'am and papa were owned by Master Wilcox on a plantation in Mississippi, which means I was owned by him too. When I turned about 10, they sent me out in the fields. Master Wilcox then made a fortune selling tobacco. I tell you, ma'am, that was some back-breaking work, bending over to harvest those plants. I worked in fields a few years and I done a good job, so I got promoted to a wagon driver when I'm guessing I was about 14.
Was that a good job?
Oh, yes, sir. It was the best. Got to sit up on that wagon instead of breaking my back. I'd take all the tobacco and unload it to the smokehouse where they dried it out. It was good indeed until old Moses got a wild head.
Transitions to the plantation outside the smokehouse. Wiley, near 16 now, is standing there chewing on a small piece of small tobacco leaf. Moses enters with a bucket.
What you doing there, Wiley?
Having me a little break before I go back to the fields.
Master Foreman catch you with that backer. He gonna tear your hide.
Well, he ain't gonna catch me and you ain't gonna tell.
No, I ain't gonna tell. Don't even matter anymore, because doesn't even matter. We're gonna be gone as of tonight.
What you talking about?
I'm running tonight. Then got me some food stored. I heard about a lady next town over that'll hide me until they call the dogs off. Then I headed north.
Fool, you ain't gonna get 3 steps off this here plantation.
Yeah, he is.
Them dogs gonna be feasting on your ass is what's gonna happen.
Come with me, Wiley. We can make it together.
Heck no, boy. I ain't getting bit by no dogs, then beat by the fool. Shoot, if they don't get you, the bears will.
Ain't no bears. Ain't nobody tired of trying to escape and never seen no bears out there.
That's because the ones that got eaten by the bears never come back.
That'll lie. Come on. Ain't you had enough of this life?
I eat every day. I get to ride in a wagon. That's good enough for me.
You ain't gonna tell on me, is you?
I ain't heard nothing, but no fool talking about nothing. You want to get yourself killed, you go right ahead.
Enter young master.
Moses, what are you doing up here? Ain't you supposed to be in the fields?
Yes, sir. Foreman sent me to fetch some more water, sir. It's awful hot today.
Well, this doesn't look like the well.
No, sir. I'm already on my way.
Gives Joseph a look and exits.
Shouldn't you be heading back to the fields for the next load, Wiley?
Yes, sir. Was just about to when Moses stopped me.
Joseph starts to leave.
Good boy. And Wiley?
Yes, sir.
Best not let see the foreman see you chewing on my daddy's tobacco.
Swallows the leaf.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Fade to blue. Sound of a pack of dogs and a man screaming. Lights come up more on stage, but it is the middle of the night and Moses is being dragged in by the foreman. Other men can be seen holding torches. He is bloody, the sound of dogs still coming from off stage. Moses falls to his knees in exhaustion and pain.
All you niggers, get out here! Come on! All of you! Get out here and look at this!
Slowly, several slaves, including Joseph, enter the stage.
I want you to look at this.
Turns and hit Moses square in the face.
This is what happens when you run!
Backhands Moses and he falls completely to the ground.
Now, this piece of shit here owes me 40 lashes. But if I give him those lashes, he'll probably go on and die. Then I have to tell Master Wilcox he's lost all the money he spent on this boy. But it's a funny thing. When those dogs got him not half a mile from here, he became awful talkative. He said he told one of you he was going to run. Well, this was a shock to me, because you know all that if someone tells you that you're going to run, you're supposed to tell me. So, who did he tell? Who did he tell?
Foreman grabs Wiley and forces him to a wooden fence where he ties his hands.
Makes sense to me that if I can't get 40 lashes to Moses, that the person he told should take them for him.
I'm sorry, Wiley. I'm so sorry.
Shut up!
Coming up close to Wiley.
I'm going to enjoy this, you uppity nigger. Master's son can't protect you from this. You got this coming.
Foreman tears the back of Wiley's shirt open.
Now all you watch this, and if you look away, you're going to be next. Moses, you count him off.
He swings the strap and Wiley screams. The foreman should take his time. The audience should be made to believe they are going to be forced to sit through the 40 lashes. It should be as realistic and bloody as possible.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Enter young master.
What on God's green earth is going on here?
Just handing out discipline.
From the looks of it, you've handed out enough.
This nigger owes me 30 more.
I'm telling you, you're done.
Let's see what your father has to say about that.
You can sure ask him when he gets back from Savannah next week. Until then, I am in charge, and I say you are done.
To Wiley.
We're not through.
Wiley collapses. The foreman storms off.
You women there, you tend to them.
They rush to the fallen men. Lights fade on the scene and up on old Wiley and Catherine.
I tell you what, I can still feel that strap hitting my back. I was very grateful for the master's son stepping in, because I wasn't for sure that Moses could count out of 10.
How can you laugh about it?
Laugh or cry, man. Laugh or cry.
Did you ever try to run away yourself?
Oh no, if I had thought about it before that day, I ain't never think about it after that.
What happened to Moses?
Well, he built a string back up, and when we thought he was all better, we found him hanging in the barn. He'd have gone and killed himself. Just couldn't take it, I guess, no more.
You ever think about that?
No, God gave me this life here, and far be it for me to take it away.
What did it feel like when you were set free?
That'd be a good question. I don't know. I guess it took me a while to figure that one out. Never been free before, so I didn't know what to feel like. I guess it's like standing on a cliff and you was a bird, but you ain't never flew before. You feel things different. You're scared, but you know you can fly if you try. You just have to push off the cliff and depend on yourself, and God, of course.
Is there anything else you would like to share?
No, I guess that's about it. So nice to meet you, ma'am.
You too, Mr. Wiley. Uncle Wiley.
With a tip of his hat, Wiley is gone. Catherine sits for a moment. Her emotions are getting the best of her, even though she is trying to hide it. Mabel enters.
You good, Katie?
Yes, I'm fine.
First day's always the hardest.
Yes, pretty tough to hear these stories.
Changing the subject intentionally.
You got you a man.
Yeah, Frank. We've been through everything together, you could say.
Well, I've seen a ring, but so many men run off these days, you never know.
Not my Frankie. He's my rock. He saw all this coming. He started stocking money away before the crash. He said if something is too good to be true, it is. It is how we were able to afford to move here and last this long.
Sounds like a good man.
He's the best. We'll have to have you over sometime for dinner.
I'd really like that. You can do this, Katie, and if you need anything, you just give me a holler. I'm going to wake up Mr. Thompson before his lazy ass sleeps through lunch again. Last time the fool blamed me because he missed the car. I'll give you a few and send in the next.
Starts to leave and stops herself.
You're good people, Katie. I can tell.
She exits while Catherine starts typing. At Rise, back in the office, Catherine seated at her desk typing up the last stories she has heard. Enter Delilah. She moves slowly due to her age and walks with a defined limp using a cane to help her get around.
They told me this was the place I was to tell my story.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Well, I ain't no ma'am. You just call me Delilah or Dee. I'll go by either.
Delilah. That's a beautiful name.
You must not know the Bible, child. I'm named after a hussy.
Have a seat then, Dee. So, you came today to tell me your story.
Yes, I did. Though I don't know who want to hear that.
I would.
All right then, I will tell you the best I can remember. I probably don't forgot more than I can remember under this white head.
Whatever you can remember will be fine.
Well, I guess I'll start when I was a child. I was born on a plantation in Mississippi. My mommy had 17 children and I was number 15. Didn't really knows my daddy. She was what they call a breeding slave. Now, when I was a youngin', Master Jesse Daniels owned us, and he had a heap of land. Grew corn and cotton and tobacco. When I was little, Master Daniel, he took a shine to me, he did. He even told me to call him Master Jesse, because he liked me so much. So when he would go to town, and I would, for them to come back, and I'd wait for them to come back and be hanging on the fence yelling, Master Jesse, would you bring me from town? I sure enough, he would have some candy, a little doll for me. When I got older, I started working with dyeing the cotton. We would take roots and berries and other things we'd find to make them beautiful colors. Mama Grace was the expert. She knew just how to do it.
Get your little ass over here, Delilah. You just got to stir this here cotton. Don't you stop till I say it, so that cotton's gonna come out all streaky like.
Yes, sir.
Begins to stir a large pot over a fire. Delilah stirs with short strokes.
Now you got to take big strokes like this.
Sure, sir.
Now you.
Delilah takes the longer of strokes.
Yes, just like that. Don't you stop till I say.
How long would that be?
I's know when I's know. I's got to get back down by the creek and get some more berries. You keep stirring and I'll be back, you hear?
Yes, sir.
Mammy Grace exits. Young Delilah keeps stirring, but soon becomes bored. She begins to sing to entertain herself.
When the sun comes back and the first quail calls, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man's awaiting to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. The riverbank makes a very good road. The dead trees will show you the way. Left foot, peg foot, traveling on. Follow the drinking gourd.
Master Irving enters and stands where Delilah can't see him.
I do say your voice is as pretty as you are, Delilah.
Shocked, but still stirring.
Oh, Master Jesse, you done scared me. Nearly dropped my staring stick. Mammy Grace would wear me out if I did that.
What were you singing there, Delilah?
Something I just heard.
You aren't thinking of leaving us now, are you, Delilah?
No, Master. Why'd you say that? You don't like me no more?
Well, that song sounds like you were planning to go somewhere.
Oh, no, sir. It's just something to pass the time.
Who'd you hear singing that song?
Henrietta was singing it the other day while she was cooking. I thought it was pretty, so I sang along till I learned it.
I see.
Master Jesse is watching her movement as she continues to stir.
Well, you sure have grown up, Delilah.
Yes, sir. I was about as tall as my own mama now.
Stroking her cheek.
Your skin is so beautiful.
My mama says she think my daddy may have been one of them overseers. That's why I got the light skin.
He circles behind her and wraps his hands around her waist.
What you doing, Master? I gotta stir this here pot.
Don't stop.
He kisses her neck.
Sing that song again.
He raises the back of her dress and begins to undo his pants.
Please, don't, Master.
I said sing, and don't you stop stirring, and the next thing you'll know, I'll say you down in Louisiana where they don't treat their niggers near as nice as I do. Now sing.
Delilah starts to sing the song again. Master Irving enters her. She lets out a scream of pain.
Sing, damn you!
She continues to sing the song as he rapes her. Tears are flowing down her face. This process should take as long as the audience can stand. By the end of the song, he finishes and buttons his pants.
Now you stop that crying. If you're lucky, next time I go into town, I'll bring you a little something.
Master Jesse exits. Lights fade back to the office.
The river ends between two hills. Follow the drinking drinking gourd. There's another river on the other side. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd.
Catherine is overcome with emotion from the story and hearing the song.
I don't understand what happened. He'd been so nice to you.
Yes, I was what Master Jesse did. Been so nice to me all those years. And I trust him. Make me feel almost like I'm his own daughter. Then he goes and...
He raped you.
Jen, Rick, what's your sin? I didn't get the worst though. I didn't know it. But that here song was singing was a code to get to the Underground Railroad.
It was beautiful and haunting at the same time.
Should be. Many a slave died on that journey. Well, Master Jesse knew that song had a meaning, and he did beat Henrietta till she told him that her husband was going to run. They did kill him. Out in front of everybody, strung him up, and let him hang there for near a week. So Henrietta down the river after the next day.
That's horrible. What happened after?
Oh, Master come visit when he had an itch. I learned to take it and not cry. Kind of felt like I had it coming. Since I told Henrietta's husband, since I got Henrietta's husband killed.
No one deserves that. You didn't know. It wasn't your fault.
All the same, that's how I felt about it. That old man made me sing to him every damn time, too. Oh, I ain't complaining. I had it better than most. Master kept the overseers and foremen off of me, because I was his at least. I kept working, dyeing the cotton, and then their war broke out. And after we knew it was those Yankees came in and all our white folks disappeared and never saw them again. We were scared of them Yanks at first, though, because the white folk done told us they was coming to kill us. Of course, they stole pretty near everything on that place. Those boys was hungry, I tell you. They ate up all the chickens in the first day.
Are they the ones that told you that you were free?
They were. I tell you, God bless that Abraham Lincoln for setting us free. God bless Jeff Davis, too. If and they had been fighting, we'd all still be slaves today.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, child. I think that's be enough for today. I do get tired more easily now.
I'm sorry.
What you sorry for?
For all the things that happened to you.
You just tells my story. Yous make sure the truth come out. There still folks think slavery was a good thing. Even some old niggas do. They was young and don't remember. Yous tell my stories, Miss Catherine. That be sorry enough.
Delilah exits. Catherine is left alone, looking at her typewriter, not knowing what to do. The lights fade out. At Rise, in the apartment, Frank is seated on the couch. He's dressed in his sleeveless undershirt, and again, but this time it is dirty as well as a few smudges on his face, nothing over the top. Catherine enters and is in obvious distress. She's sobbing. Her motivation is getting to the door is that Frank is her safe space. She should come through the door and go to him like he's oxygen personified, and her time is empty.
What's wrong? Are you hurt? Did someone hurt you? You're scaring me.
Catherine attempts to talk but can't.
You have to calm down and tell me what happened.
Just hold me.
There is a long moment here. Frank has no idea what to do or what to say in this moment. He holds her. He holds her tightly and lovingly, almost as a father would hold a child that is awoken from a nightmare. He feels her body next to his, and he feels the tension in it begin to relax. The words come to him.
There is no reason to be afraid. Whatever is hurting you, whatever is upsetting you, whatever is happening, I'm here for you. No matter what it is, I love you. I'm not going anywhere.
He sits there holding her, quietly stroking her hair. He sits with her and holds her as long as it takes for her to calm enough to be able to speak.
He raped her.
What?
He raped her.
Getting upset.
Who raped who? Have you reported this to the police?
It was a long time ago. A slave owner raped a woman I met today.
I don't know what to say.
She was still a child when it happened. Probably no more than 14.
Catherine.
He tricked her. Brought her little presents. She played with his own daughter. Made her think that he actually cared about her.
That's sick.
Then the monster raped her over and over.
I don't know how a man could do that.
You know the bastard would make her sing as he raped her? He would make her sing to him while he was treating her like his own personal whore.
Cat, I don't know what to do to make this better.
You can't make it better. It happened. He got away with it. I'm sure the son of a bitch is dead by now. And even if he wasn't, who would care?
You? Me? I'm sure there are others who would.
It's not fair.
Of course it's not fair. I don't know about this stuff. Hell, you know a lot more about this now than I do. I just know that because you listened today, because you wrote down that story, others will read it. They will know what happened, and they will care.
You think so?
I do.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring this home with me. It just got to me. I was thinking about it all the way home, and I started to cry and I couldn't stop. And I just kept thinking I had to get to you. I had to get to my Frankie.
I'm here. I'll always be here for you.
They kiss. She breaks away.
You stink.
Love you too.
No. Really? Why do you smell? You're dirty too. What have you been doing?
Nothing much, just working at a construction site.
Frankie, that's great news.
Yeah, foreman let me borrow some tools and showed me the ropes. I worked so hard he hired me full-time on the spot.
I'm really proud of you. I knew if they would just give you a chance, you'd show them what a hard worker you are.
Listen, I want you to be happy. Some of these things you can't unhear. Type them up, know their stories are being told, and let them go. You can't carry them forever on your shoulders.
I know. This one just got to me. I love you, working man.
Love you too, working lady.
They kiss. Fade to black. At Rise, Catherine is seated at her desk in the office talking to Mabel.
I'm telling you, May, he was so great. I was so upset and he just held me so tight. I felt so warm and safe.
Oh yeah, then what happened? You know the good stuff.
May? It wasn't like that. Well, it was a little like that later on.
Katie?
Yeah, May?
I gotta tell you something. And then I'm going to ask you a favor.
All right.
You can say no if you want.
I won't.
Well, you can say no. I need you to know that.
All right. I know it.
But first I need to tell you, I'm not who you think I am.
You're not my friend?
No, honey, of course I am your friend. At least I hope I am after I tell you this.
Come on, May. You can tell me.
I'm passing.
Passing what?
Passing. Passing for white.
I don't understand.
I'm 3/4 white, but being 1/4 Negro means that I'm still considered Negro in this world, but I just don't tell people. So they assume that I'm white because I'm light-skinned.
Why do you feel like you have to do this?
Do you really think I would have my job if Mr. Thompson knew I was a Negro? Look, I don't like cleaning people's houses or cooking for people or doing their laundry. I found if I do my makeup just right and I talk to the businessmen just right, they don't notice my complexion. They like the way I move my hips and they don't think with their head, at least not the bigger one.
So, according to the census, you're considered Negro?
Yes.
Well, you know I don't give a tiny rat's ass about that.
You don't?
You're my friend. I don't care if you're purple or polka dotted.
They embrace in a sense of relief.
You can't tell anyone.
I won't. I promise. Now what do you want me to do?
My great-grandmother, Jo, she was a slave. She has a story to tell but won't tell anyone. Not family. Not anyone. I was thinking maybe you would talk to her, see if she would share it with you.
What makes you think she'll talk to me?
I've seen you work. You've got a way with people. You make them feel safe and they open up to you. Will you do it?
Anything for a friend.
Thanks, Katie.
Sure, Meg.
At Rise, an elderly woman is seated in a rocking chair on the porch. It was Josephine. She's knitting. Catherine enters. She observes Josephine for several beats.
You gonna say something, or you just gonna stand there and look at me?
I'm sorry. I was watching you knit. It's beautiful.
This here ain't nothing special. Just a little scarf for my grandbaby.
Well, the scarf is nice, but I meant the movement of your hands is so beautiful to watch. So natural.
I had
graceful.
lots of practice.
Josephine doesn't stop knitting.
What you want?
I'm Catherine. I'm with the Federal Writers Project. I work with your great-granddaughter, Mabel. She asked me to come out and talk to you about your time as a slave.
She did she?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is my uppity great-granddaughter doing?
She's doing well, and is a very dear friend of mine.
I guess she is coming up if she got white folk friends in this world. Ain't got time for her family, though. That's the price you pay when you're trying to pass a figure.
She really does want you to share your story.
I ain't interested in telling no one my story. Nobody want to hear that anyway.
I would. I've heard many amazing stories. I want to help you share yours.
You going around to get a story of slavery and the persecution of the Negroes? Is you gonna help us? Is you gonna do anything to make our lives better now? No. You just after the stories. What you gonna do with these stories anyway?
There's been talk of a book.
I see. So the white man gonna make money on our stories. We gonna see any of that there money?
I don't know any details.
Gonna be your slaves again, I suspect.
No, ma'am. Not at all.
Come on now, Miss Prim and Proper white girl. You knows we ain't free. Never have been free, no matter what Lincoln or those Yankees say. We always be slaves, just not called it no more. They come down here and tell us we free, then leave. Who we gonna work for? The same man that beat our damn backs every day? Only now, they got to pay us a little something. Charge us to stay in the house we done lived in for years. Charge us to eat. Then the whites keep lynching, burning, and beating on us. What happens? Nothing.
Before this job, I had no clue as to what went on during slavery. My family was untouched by the war. We lived in the North and we saw racism there, but never as much as when we moved here. My husband got a job the other day. You think I don't know there were 20 black men more capable and skilled than him? Maybe deserved it more than him? The color of his skin got him that job, but my children are going to eat. I can't do anything about that. But I can listen to your story. I want to know. The world needs to know. Thank you for your time.
She begins to exit.
You really want to hear it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, then. I'll tell you, but not for no book or damn Roosevelt. I tell you. Just you. You hear me?
I understand.
I was born on a plantation to a man who was a preacher. That Pastor Whitfield. He made us go to church every Sunday. He'd be up there hollering and screaming about all sorts of stuff. He said we all's God's creatures, and we have to get saved. He always lay into us. He always lay into us slaves. The Bible say honor your masters. I guess right then I knew there weren't no God. How he let his children be treated like this if and there were?
Carried into a room where there is a barrel. The barrel is marked with blood and chains are connected to it.
Then after church time, we go back to the house and he had that damn barrel out. Most masters would beat the slaves outside, but Pastor Whitfield, he did it inside, but nobody could know just how cruel he was.
Whitfield enters dragging the female slave. She's begging him.
Please, Pastor, please don't. I didn't do nothing.
God's judgment is short and swift. So is mine.
I didn't steal no corn pond. I didn't do it.
God has revealed to me that you did, and you must be punished.
Rushing in.
Pastor, please don't beat my mama. She didn't do anything.
Unless you want to be next, you get on out of here.
She didn't do it.
Josephine, you be still now.
But you didn't do anything, Mama.
How do you know she didn't do anything?
Sir,
How do you know?
My friend.
Because you're the one that stole it?
She be hungry. She be crying. I just...
You stole from me. Stealing is a sin.
Hush up, Josephine. Don't you say nothing else. You hear me?
Was it you or your mama?
Girl, answer me, and remember, lying is a sin.
Josephine looks at her mother. Her mother shakes her head. There is a moment of silent communication.
I didn't steal nothing.
Very well. You're going to stand here and watch this. If you turn away, that one won't count. 40 lashes for stealing. Now you know how this goes. Straight. Come on, get those clothes off. I want you naked before your God and master.
Slowly she begins to take off her shirt and skirt. She is standing naked, holding her clothes in front of her. He grabs the clothes and tosses them to the floor, leaving her fully exposed as she tries to cover herself with her hands. He grabs her by the hair and slams her down onto the barrel. He brings the whip down on her back. She screams, and young Josephine turns away.
That one didn't count. Shall we try again? You look here and watch this.
Josephine, with tears in her eyes, turns and looks on.
It's gonna be all right, baby girl. It's gonna be all right.
Whitfield brings the lash down on her again. She screams each time as it rips her back and the blood begins to flow. During this process, Josephine's mama continues to comfort her daughter as she is beaten. Josephine continues to cry and get more upset with each stroke. The full 40 lashes are dealt. Whitfield should be preaching while he whips her, quoting scriptures about slavery. After finishing the beating,
You girl, clean up this mess.
he exits, rushing to her mother.
Mama!
She undoes the chains and she falls into her arms. Young Josephine covers her.
Mama, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for you.
I know, girl. You hush up. Don't you say anything else.
Young Josephine holds her mother and cries as transitions back to the porch.
My mama took that beating for me, but I felt every lash. He knew that I'd done it, but he beat her anyway. Guess he thought it would hurt me more to make me watch. He was right. Never forgot that. They still eat at me some. Now be sure I had my turn on that barrel more than once. Didn't matter if you did something or not. Pastor found a reason to put you on there. Now a few years later, my pappy got sold up the road to Master Hayes. He about 5 miles away, but time to time, Master Hayes let him come up to visit. One night though, my pappy showed up in the middle of the night.
Transferred to a darkly lit room. Josephine's mother is awake with Josephine's pappy. Her mother is gathering her possessions.
Josephine, wake up.
What's going on? Pappy, why are you here?
Shh. You gotta be real quiet. Believe it.
Where are we going?
You hush up and do what your pappy say.
You got any food?
Master never give us enough to save.
We ain't gonna make it with no food.
I can get some.
You hush up.
Where is it?
In the pantry by the kitchen. There's corn pone and hardtack. I can get it and be right back.
Go get it.
You can't send her. If she get caught, he kill her.
I won't get caught. I go quiet and be right back here.
We got to have it or we dead anyway.
Go. But you be careful. And if you about to get caught, you run.
Yes, Mama.
She exits to a darker part of the stage. She's rummaging around. Suddenly in the darkness, a match is lit, then a lantern spilling its light onto the stage, revealing Whitfield sitting in a chair at a table. On the table is a loaf of bread and a knife sticking out of it. Young Josephine freezes with a potato sack in her hands.
I knew I had a rat stealing from me. Didn't take my bait, but I caught you just the same.
Master, I was just...
About to steal from me. Again. I thought you would learn your lesson the last time.
Please, sir, I put it back. Just let me go.
Rising.
Oh, you're going to put it back. And I'm going to have part of your back for it.
Please, sir, I just want to go. I don't want the food no more.
They are now circling the table and his whip is in his hand.
Come on now. You know what you have coming.
No, sir, please, don't.
He hops the whip in front of her, forcing her the other direction. She makes a break for it, but he catches her and cuffs her on the back of the neck, dropping her to her knees.
You can't get away from me. You're mine. You will never get away from me.
He now has the whip around her neck and is choking her.
You aren't worth the hassle. Stealing from me after I give you a home, give you food, put clothes on your body, save your soul. This is the thanks I get. I'll send you straight to hell right now.
Young Josephine has been struggling against the choking. She's reaching out for anything she can find to help. Her hand finds the knife in the bread. She grabs it and stabs him in the neck. He releases her and slowly falls to the ground, grasping at the wound. Entering and seeing what has happened.
We got to go.
But Pappy, I done killed him.
Can't think about it now. Can't think about it right now. We got to go. Yankees ain't about 3 miles from here. They done took over Master Hayes' place. We got to get now for sure. They ain't gonna care if we free if they know we done killed a white man.
She was looking at the body.
Josephine, can't worry about that no more. We've got to move now.
They both exit, leaving the dead man where he fell, transition back to the front porch.
You see now why I can't tell this here story?
I do.
Don't matter how long it's been. You a nigger and you kill a white man, they gonna come after you.
It was self-defense.
Ain't no self-defense when you's a slave. If it ain't the law, it's the Klan. Some way, they gonna make you pay. I done trusted you with my story, now you gots to keep it.
Can I tell your children to Mabel?
Okay.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home.